Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you all are having a great day so far. So today on my desk, I have this DeWalt 20v max flex volt brushless reciprocating saw. It's a DCS386, and it looks to be a little bit dirty. So before I plug a battery into this, I am going to go ahead and clean up these terminals. I don't know what's wrong with this, but let's go ahead and give it a little clean before we get started. So over here on the bottom, on the battery terminals, we can see that it's pretty dirty. I'm going to take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and go ahead and clean that. It looks like the connector is loose as well. Oh, yeah, this is pretty nasty. Then again, it's a tool, and tools get into nasty places. Alright, I think I managed to clean this up pretty well. Let's go ahead and plug a battery into it and see if it starts. Here I have a 4 amp hour battery. It has enough of a charge, so let's go ahead and plug this in. The safety's off. Let's see if it runs. Nothing. Okay, I'll go ahead and put the same battery in another tool. Yep. So now that we know the problem is not the battery, let's go ahead and start opening this up and taking a closer look at what the problem can be. So taking a look at the front of the saw, it looks like over on this plate here, trying to get a better camera angle of this. On the front, there are 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like these hold on this face plate. Let's go ahead and remove it and see if there's something jammed in there. I just removed all 4 screws with this flathead screwdriver. So let's go ahead and remove this plate. And taking a closer look here, it almost looks like there's something stuck inside there, and it's also very dirty. So I think what I'm going to do first is try to clean this up a little bit, and then I'm going to try to remove whatever's inside there. So I cleaned it up with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. It took out a lot of the dirt that was in there, and it still looks like something is inside there. So I'm going to pull on this release latch and see if I could pry out whatever that is. Seems to be stuck in there pretty tightly. Yeah, it must be a broken blade or something. Let's take this apart a little bit further. So I took off the rubber shoe and took a lot of force. It also looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on here. So if we wanted to remove this, we would go ahead and remove those with either a flathead or a Torx screwdriver. These screws are very stiff, and I'm getting a really bad smell from this. So after removing all those screws, let's go ahead and take out these pieces together. Inside we found a broken piece of plastic, and I've finally taken it out so we could take a look at the inside. The inside's a little bit dirty, but it seems to look fine as well. So I think what I'm going to do next to remove that broken piece of blade. So with the light on over here on the side, this release mechanism has a spring connected to it. My idea is that if I release the spring, this will completely disengage and I will be able to remove the stuck piece. So let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to gently pry this outwards. It's kind of tough. Okay. And that piece has a lot of tension on it. So now that this is fully disengaged, let's go ahead and try to get that piece out. Taking my pliers here, taking my flush cuts here. Oh, there it is. Now we have to put the spring back on. That's going to be a challenge. Okay, so it has to be pulled pretty far so that I could get back into place. I think I just lost it. Let's see. Hopefully this is a better angle. Let's see if I can get this to where it needs to be. This is a lot harder than it looks. Sorry for the bad camera angles. There's a lot of tension on this spring. Okay, it looks like it's back. And testing the spring functionality. Yeah. It's pretty tight and it's doing what it needs to do, so that's good. So I think before diving further into this piece, we should go ahead and take a look to see if there's anything electrically wrong with this side. It looks like here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws to get this faceplate off. Now that all the screws have been removed, we can lift on this piece. And what's going on here? It looks like we might have some corrosion and maybe a little bit of water damage. These joints don't look too good. That explains why this is mobile. It's a bunch of dirt got underneath as well. So I think at this point what I'm going to do is give it a good clean and then test some of these joints here. So apparently there's supposed to be a spring here, but it became very rusted over time. I'm going to see if I could clean that up and reattach it. So I managed to clean the majority of the corrosion off of the spring, even though there's still some left, also on this piece right here. So I cleaned it up a bit. I also tested continuity from these points over to the points on the switch, this trigger switch here. I think next what I'm going to do is check this fuse to see if it's blown. So I took out the fuse. It looks to be a 60 amp fuse, and it seems to be dead. So what I'm going to try to do is put a like fuse back into the circuit and see if it starts up. So that spring I removed earlier actually goes here to hold this back into place. Not sure why it was designed this way, but that's where it goes. Alright, so now that I replaced the fuse with an equivalent 60 amp fuse, and I placed everything back together, cleaned it up a little bit, let's go ahead and put everything back together and test it for functionality. Now that we have this all fully assembled, let's go ahead and put a battery in it and give it a test. I think for good measure, let's go ahead and put in a blade as well. Okay, safety first. Let's see if it runs. Let's see. Safety's off. Huh. And it works. And there you have it. Other than a couple minor issues, this project turned out better than expected. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, do a little bit more testing, and give it as a gift to someone very important to me. And I hope they find a good use for it. But in any case, that's it for today's video. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope to do more projects like this in the future. But as always, if you have any comments, you can go ahead and leave those in the comments below. Also, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel, and let me know what you would like to see next. But in any case, thank you all for watching, and I hope this was helpful to you. So I wish you well, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.